I'm Brady Berserker.
I'm Big Sexy Brian Bales.
And I'm Metal Matson from Super Geeky Playdate,
a podcast member of the Gonna Geek Network.
Just like the show you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of each individual host.
Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
And get ready, because geekiness begins in
3,
2,
1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 282 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, recorded live on Sunday, October 15th, 2017. And yes, the whole crew is here today.
Who's here?
The whole crew. That would be us.
Who's the crew, Chris?
No, I'm not here. I don't know what you're talking about.
I hate you all.
You're a bad host. You're supposed to introduce us.
Every time I try to introduce you guys, you steamroll me. So how the hell am I supposed to introduce you?
That's your job, and that's our job.
You think
Come on,
after
Chris.
282 tries, you'd have this figured out by now?
There was a reason it used to be in the intro, because then I didn't have to do it.
You see, it's our job as the public to do illegal things. It's the job as the cops to make us stop doing illegal things. So it's a whole runaround thing, man. Come on.
Okay.
Not illegal
So
if you don't get
let
caught.
me introduce you guys real quick then. So joining me today, we have the one, the only, Willie D. Nelson.
This guy's creepy.
You're goddamn right.
We also have our very own Naki.
Willie, I think you're just stupid.
You're goddamn
And I'm not
right.
wrong.
Oh, let's see if Chris gets this one right.
And we also have Anthony the Sailor Man.
You have a challenge. It doesn't necessarily have to be this week, but your challenge is to come up with your best Anthony the Sailor Man song.
No, see, I do it better when I like only have like 30 seconds left.
That will
He's
end the
Anthony the Sailor Man. He's pounding the women and getting some bitches. He's Anthony the Sailor Man.
There you go. I just pulled that out of the archives just for today.
I was gonna say, dang, that was a while ago when I wrote that.
Yes.
I thought you're going to go with my new quote. Shut that shit
I don't
down.
have that one anymore. Oh, and then there's also me.
There we go.
Because I'm a producer, is what I'm told.
There you go. I introduced everyone using the soundboard. And I
SP has a request.
I feel incredibly dirty.
SP has a request to bring the intro back.
The full intro, Jesus.
Bring the full intro back, and we're talking like 2.5 minutes before anyone talks. That's the problem.
It's
an
a very long
exaggeration, but
I think that's what SP liked.
you know, a lot of the podcasts I listen to now have much shorter intros, where there's a little bit of a pre-roll conversation. They do a short intro and they start the show. So that's kind of what I've migrated to. But if the people want the longer intro, send us a longer intro and we'll do it. Because I'm not making a new intro.
Ba-ba-dun.
I mean, you can give it the job to me.
Willie, you want to make us a new intro?
You won't like it, but I'll do it.
It's got to be more than just you doing this.
I am very sorry. Please forgive me, Naki. I make
Why
no
would that be
promises.
the intro?
Well, it's
Why would
just
that
Reverend
be the
Willie.
intro?
It's Reverend
Because-
Willie.
Yeah, that's how we'll have to start out, because I will be doing Reverend Willie for the rest of the intro.
Well, and don't forget about this, Willie.
We should probably, do actual show stuff instead of talk about Willie's dick.
That needs to be in the intro, too.
I mean, if that's always on your lips.
Well, the chat room says you don't do anything long or have anything long.
I mean, that's also true.
Hey, man. Whatever
How
floats
does
the boat.
SP know these things?
He's got webcams in all our houses.
Why would
SP
SP
knows
not know
all.
these things? I don't want to make
I
a
have
joke, but
several
you guys wouldn't
questions.
like it.
So how are things going, guys, before we start this thing? Anything good going on?
MCB.
I want to know, why is Naki
so-
against my 2 billion people thing?
Well,
That
you,
wasn't me. I said that's fine.
you need to clear.
Okay.
You need to fill people in on what the 2 billion people thing is,
I've
because
said-
if they weren't watching during the pre-show, they have no idea.
Oh, I mentioned it many times. There needs to be 2 billion less people in this world. Just gone. People who are assholes and people who don't use turn signals.
So
Which-
turn signal.
So
okay,
I'm sorry,
I'll do
all
that.
of India. I'm sorry, all of India, but I've seen those traffic videos, and you guys never use turn signals.
So send your hate mail to willie@gonnageek.com. That's willie@gonnageek.com.
I mean, does that just
I don't have an
eliminate
email.
Russia? Because I've seen Russian dash
Oh
cams.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's a lot of Russia, but I don't have a Gonna Geek email. You can find me at Twitter at South Porky.
Actually, I
send
think
me
there might
there.
be a redirect set up for it. I'm not 100% sure.
I have an email? No one told me.
It probably just redirects. I'm not 100% sure because I know there's an ATGN podcast at Gonna Geek. There's a Chris at Gonna Geek. I don't know.
I have
If
one.
I had the Infinity Gauntlet, oh my god. I'd be worse than
So
Thanos.
So we played like 8 hours of Towerfall Ascension last night, with 4 of us.
Good on you.
And that game is super fun. We beat it. We beat the Dark Tower, or the expansion pack. I don't know what it's
Nice.
called. Dark
That's
something. But it's
That's
super,
sexy.
super fun. So if you're ever looking for like a good couch game for like 4 people, highly recommend Towerfall Ascension.
I've only got to play with one other person, so it was like I was wanting to play with 4 people. That seems like the most fun ever. Except that
Phrasing,
you
are
can
we
hit each
doing
other,
that?
right? You can hit each other. There's friendly fire.
Yeah, there is friendly fire, and it sucks because I'm usually the one that's getting hit. It's great.
I wish it was online so I could join you on it, but it's not. That is a fun game. Though.
Yeah.
And if it was
It
online,
is- it
she'd
is-
probably play on Xbox just to spite you.
Well, no, that one's only a
couch
PC
co-op
game.
only.
Oh, my bad.
What? Towerfall Ascension?
I
No,
think
on
it's only on
PS4.
PC.
It's on
Is it?
PS4. I have it. It was
okay.
I think it was free for PS Plus early on in the PS4 life cycle.
Oh, okay.
And then I got the
have it on
DLC.
computer.
Well, there.
But it's super fun if you're looking for a couch co-op game, especially if you get 4 people. Yes, friendly fire is a thing, and usually one person is always the receiving end of that, and it was me. So,
And that's what makes it fun.
yeah. Yeah, they were also boyfriend and brother were playing Cuphead. We live streamed all of this last night too. I didn't make it really public, but we were live streaming everything yesterday.
Well,
They were
thanks for
playing
letting me
Cuphead
know.
too.
Cuphead is wonderful, by the way. Great
Cuphead's a
game.
lot of fun, but it's so aggravating
I will say once again,
because
it
you can
looks like
see
a
the
great
patterns.
game, but is just not my type of game to play.
It's platforming boss rush like all the entire
Yep.
time.
It
So
makes
if
me
you don't
want to
like
cry
platforming-
sometimes.
Yeah, if you don't like that style of game, it ain't for you.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, it looks like I'm not gonna say it's a bad game because it looks like a great game. It's just not for me. I could
It's
definitely do
really-
the tutorial faster than that one asshole.
It's gorgeous.
Willie,
Like,
you
my
just
brother,
hate that guy for the tutorial video, don't you?
It's like how are you in a gaming industry and you can't game?
It's about ethics in video game journalism, Willie.
No,
what
it's
it's all
not.
about.
And who's always
No,
ethically first?
It's not.
This guy.
SP says
Not
it's contra with. SP says it's contra, or sorry, Sailor Poland says it's contra with old time animation visuals, which is correct.
That's not inaccurate. It's a really fun game, though. But yeah, why don't we do the whole news thing once I find the damn button? Because I lost it.
News.
It would help if I'm on the right page for all
Right,
my buttons.
right meow, Chris. Right,
Right
meow.
meow?
News.
Right meow.
News.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet. It's the news of the week.
So when I can actually find the right buttons on the soundboard, we like to trigger little things called News of the Week. It's that time in the show where we run down the coolest, or at least the most interesting in our minds, geeky or nerdy news from the last week. And who's going to go first? Willie, why don't you go first?
Well, first, I want to say I'm never going to rush you, Chris. These assholes just steamrolled right over you on that one. Just like, right now. No, I'm not going to be an asshole. You
Willie,
you
shut up
do
with
you.
your news.
You do you, Chris.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Chris.
Shut up, Willie. Shut up,
Fuck all
Willie.
y'all.
Wow.
Shut up, Willie.
So much hate.
So, who knows what's a big problem in gaming right now? Anyone want to raise their hand?
Microtransactions.
Ethics.
Naki, I see you raising your hand.
It's ethics in games journalism.
Yep, I'm pulling a lateral. That's what's wrong with it. Right? No. No, a big problem is, but you're not 100% wrong there, Naki. But yeah, microtransactions with loot boxes. Why do all these games coming out have loot boxes? Let me give you an example here. I got the new WWE 2K18. Do I watch wrestling? No. Do I like the games? Yes. It has a loot box system in it. Why? The new Battlefront 2 game has loot box system. and they're going in the wrong direction where it actually affects how your character, how good your character is. So
Yep.
So it's like a pay
And
to
it's
win.
randomized.
What a shock! Electronic
Yep.
Arts is going to screw you with microtransactions and loot boxes.
And they're gonna have pay to win. Well, duh, because they know it'll get them money.
And you can kind of see where like the start of like the downfall of this was Overwatch, but the way they did it was it's just cosmetics. It doesn't matter.
I don't even think it's Overwatch. I think it's phone games, free to play games.
It's that kind of stuff. It's your video games you play on phones and things like that, because people will go and they'll pay 99 cents to unlock 6 bonus jewels that do other stuff.
Yep. But I was listening to Idle Thumbs, which is one that boyfriend listens to, and somehow I got sucked into listening to. But they were talking about how it should basically be taxed and monitored like gambling is, because at this point it's essentially gambling, but in your own home.
I don't
Especially when, well, because like with Battlefront, you don't know what's going to be in these boxes. Overwatch, same thing. You don't know what's going to be in these boxes, but it doesn't necessarily progress your character. It just gives you cool skins and stuff. With Overwatch, with Battlefront, it's going to progress your character.
Yep.
Well,
so it should be monitored like a gambling situation.
There's a difference between those
there's no
kind
chance
of.
of you winning money.
There's a difference between those kind of things, though. When you buy a game and then get tons of microtransactions, get loot boxes, that sucks. But when you get a free-to-play game and you make the conscious decision to buy microtransactions for loot boxes and things like that, that's a separate thing, because that's their revenue stream. It's EA's double dipping, and a lot of those folks that are doing stuff like this, which is, hey, buy our game for full price, then pay us for loot boxes that, yes, you can win in-game, but it takes 4 times as long than paying $5 to get 20 boxes or some crap like that.
No, it's more like $10 and get 5 boxes.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't play a ton of games that do that. Like the Fortnite game, if you play the non-battle royale mode, that's how it works. But that was the expectation coming in. It's a completely free-to-play game, so that you understand you can buy microtransactions. That's how they're financing it.
I think, is it microtransactions what broke 3? What was it? The Blizzard game. The third one that came out. Why can't I think
3?
of it?
It was the real life auction house.
Yeah, thank you.
Never played it.
Thank you. I was thinking, for some reason, I kept thinking Dungeon 3. I'm like, it's not Dungeon. It's
Well, it kind of is, but I mean,
Well, they were smart. They yanked out the real life auction house out of Diablo 3.
I say I never even got to the point where I used the real live auction house. I'm still like in like level 4 of that game. I bought it and played it. It's fun, but I've never been that type of person that could, grind 80 hours in dungeons on Diablo.
Yeah. I mean, that's just one of the problems you have, though. The other one is, did you guys see the GameStop ad they put out for the new Assassin's Creed that was, you only get this bonus mission if you pre-order from us?
yes, I did.
I was
see
like,
that.
that's horse shit. You don't hide pieces of the game so that the only way I get it is if I go and buy it at GameStop. That's absolute crap. It's almost as bad as what Sony's doing with Destiny and Destiny 2, which is, we're buying console exclusive limited windows for some of this content. No, that's horse shit.
I mean, let me bring it back to what I've said. I think I mentioned this before a while back. What was that? I can't remember. I think I can never remember that game. I think it's in one of those Metro games where the pre-order thing said pre-order and you can get the Ranger difficulty level unlocked the way the game is meant to be played. So what you're telling me is if I just go in the first day, buy the damn game for full price, I can't play the game you meant me to play? What the fuck is this bullshit?
That's fucking stupid.
I think I remember it being the Ranger DLC. I can't remember exactly the game. I think it was one of the Metro games. Don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, it's one of the ongoing problems you have with games, and it's one of the things that we've talked about before on this show, is I shouldn't have to buy my game on one system or from one retailer to get the full experience. I'm okay with DLC after the fact that anyone can buy that adds to the story and things like that, which I didn't used to be. I thought some DLC was just bogus. But when you get story DLC, I'm okay with that. And if I want to make the decision on Titanfall 2 where the DLC is all cosmetic to buy that, that's my own choice, but it doesn't limit what the game can do. And that's the
Isn't all
stuff that frustrates me.
DLC on that free?
All story-based DLC. They have
Okay.
additional DLC, which is like how you get different skins for your guns and different skins for your Titans and characters. But all of that stuff does not impact gameplay.
And this is also, we're talking about DLC being made after the game comes out, not already on the disc locked behind a paywall.
Right. Yes.
Like
Yeah, that's some
Capcom.
bullshit.
Capcom.
Companies
Bullshit
releasing
like that.
unfull games and charging you extra after you pay for a full game.
I think
Fuck
it was
all that.
Was it Street Fighter 4? I think it came out with like all the DLC characters, the DLC that they haven't made yet, were already on the disc. Someone found out.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me though.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm
That's
completely
just
there
it's
with you.
greedy
And
bullshit.
I did play the Battlefront beta because it was free. I figured why not, and I went, "Oh, this loot crate crap is gonna be hellacious." And I said, as pretty as this game is, as much as I might want to play the single player, I'm not buying this because the multiplayer is going to be insufferable. Because A, it already is in regular Battlefront, and B, with people just shelling out buku amounts of money on top of a game they've already bought, everyone's going to be so damn OP it doesn't even matter. It won't be fun.
Yeah, and on Battlefront, it gets that way fast even without pay to win. So
Right.
with pay to win,
That's
it's
why-
even worse.
That's why I don't like playing multiplayer games if I'm getting it late. And other than like Overwatch, where it's pretty balanced out, like no matter what level you're at, like most multiplayer games, if you don't buy it right away, by the time you get into it, it's so OP by everybody else that you're just like, well,
Yeah.
this could have been fun.
Well, that's why I bought Black Ops. That's the only Call of Duty game I bought the day it came out for the brand new fucking PS3 at the time. And 18 months later, I got access to the fucking multiplayer. And fuck that company. I've never bought a single game from them since.
Wait, what do you mean?
When they beta tested Black Ops, they didn't beta test on anything other than their fucking the PCs they designed it on. So the day it went live, you couldn't get on multiplayer on like 85% of all PS3s and 50% of all Xboxes. They fixed the Xboxes inside of 4 months. They fixed the majority of PS3s inside of 12 months. I finally got an email 18 months after I bought that fucking game, after complaining on the forums for months, and I was finally able to access the fucking multiplayer levels. 18 months after I paid for a $60 game the day it fucking came out. Up until that day, I could not get the multiplayer maps to load on my PS3. And I bought that fucker the day it came out on a brand new PS3. It was fucking bullshit.
I think I had that. I don't remember that at all. Or did I have Black Ops 2? I don't know.
Certain ones it worked just fine. Other systems it did not work at all because they didn't beta test it on PC, Xbox, and PS3. They did a shitty. That was the first. Black Ops was the first game where it was like another company helped the guys that had been doing the Call of Duty games develop it. And so it was the first one where they had a major fuck up, and they didn't give a shit because they made a ton of money that first day.
Well, and bear in mind, back then there was still more of an emphasis on the PC side of things with that. If you go and look at all the Call of Duty games and things like that now, PC is a secondary thing. They care about getting it out on the consoles first.
Yeah, see, but yeah, since that launch, I have not bought a game from that company, and I will not.
And I think that's around the time when they started splitting off so they could come out yearly, where they have one company doing a game 1 year.
Yeah,
it's
when they
put
split
out another game a year, not the next year, but the year after that. And
it was the split between Activision and Treyarch. It was about the same time that Ubisoft decided to do a yearly Assassin's Creed game, and then they realized that, oh wait, yearly Assassin's Creed games, they start to suck because we don't have enough time to do it properly, which is why I'm not a huge Assassin's Creed fan, but the new game looks like it could be pretty good, the one set in Egypt, but neither here nor there.
But now you can't buy it. You can't get the whole game unless you buy it now.
Right, and the only way I buy my games is through Amazon because I get 20% off with the Prime discount. So I'm not going to go and buy it from GameStop and pay more money.
I was saying, isn't this the new one that GameStop has, like the $900 exclusive version that comes with a skull and some bullshit?
Oh, there's a few different exclusive versions that aren't. I don't think they're retailer limited, but there's like a version of the new Assassin's Creed. It's like $1,600 or some ridiculousness like that.
Fuck. Yeah, that's those are getting beyond ridiculous.
What comes in that?
A statue, like huge ass statue. If I remember right.
$1,600? You get a statue.
I could have pulled the wrong value out of my.
I was gonna say, is it the same size as your Spider-Man statue?
Yeah, maybe.
Now
Yeah,
I
for that
cannot
price-
remember.
Excuse me, it's $800. I misspoke.
Okay.
Season
that's
hey,
reasonable.
The season pass is included. It comes with a 28.7-inch figurine of the main character, a hand-drawn world map of Assassin's Creed Origins Egypt, a replica of the Eagle Skull amulet cast in resin, 4 lithographs, the game soundtrack, 2 steelbook cases, a numbered certificate of authenticity, the game, the season pass, and other digital goods.
If there are $800, that map should be done on human skin, and it should be a real fucking skull.
It should also clean my fucking house too.
And
Additionally,
it should come
that
with a chick
statue-
that blows you while you play the game.
No,
The
Sailor
statue
Poland
should
nailed
be
it.
the same size as you.
Yeah,
I do
Sailor
also
Yeah,
Poland
and
nailed
the
it.
statue should be life size.
In the chat room, Sailor Poland nailed it. Yeah, $800 for a bunch of stuff you could get out of Loot Crate.
Yeah,
no,
basically.
gives shit or you're shitting that. But question, but does it actually come with the game too, though?
Yes, it comes with the game.
That would be
No,
awesome.
you
If
laughed.
you had an $800
No, you
version
laughed.
that didn't come with the
There was like
game.
a $200 like a bonus like thing that didn't come with the actual game. It was for
Mass Effect Andromeda.
What?
You could get the Nomad edition of it that was like a Bluetooth controllable Nomad RC car that did not come with the game. If I recall correctly, it came with a steel box case inside for the game, but did not come with a copy of the game for the $200 limited edition. How ridiculous was that?
I'm not sure what's dumber, the company that makes that or the idiot that buys it.
Not a lot of
a
people
little bit of
bought
column
that.
A, a little bit of column B.
They're still sitting
No
on the
shit.
shelves at my local Best Buy.
Let's see, how do you have a $200 version of a game come out that doesn't include the game?
Because it's
what
EA
the fuck?
and they fucked up Mass Effect. Let's be honest here.
That's true. EA can fuck up anything. They're like DC.
And you guys want to get their next game, so I don't want to hear it.
Anthem? That's because it's BioWare. I'm hoping the BioWare offsets it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm squashing all of these rumors that are going on in the chat room. I'm not pregnant.
That's
Naki's
not what
pregnant?
I said a certain word. I like my word.
See, I was
better.
being good not mentioning it.
Oh boy. So let's go
Yeah, I
on to the
didn't say
next
anything.
news story while we try and power through the fake news in our chat room.
Fake news.
Say it in
Fake.
that. Say it in the accent. Say it in the accent.
Fucking
I
hate
can't
that
do
term.
the accent. I'm sorry.
That is fake news.
You can't lower your IQ to a 40.
That's
I
neither here
can.
nor there.
You already knew
We're
that,
not
though.
going to go political. But hey, let's talk about Star Trek. Oh, wait. I mean, let's talk about the Orville, which is basically the heir apparent to Star Trek on TV, not Star Trek Discovery.
A good version of Star Trek.
Have any of you guys been watching the Orville besides me? Anyone?
I'm on episode 4.
Okay.
Wait,
I'm
it's
behind,
not
but
the
I'm
next
getting
Star
caught
Trek
up.
show?
Say again, Willie?
It's not the next Star Trek show, just with a different name.
It's Seth MacFarlane's Star Trek fan fiction is the best way of putting it.
No, I don't watch it.
So I've
I
actually
am
come to like it. I
so
thought it's
bored.
a pretty enjoyable show. And evidently I'm not the only one that thought that, because I was trolling around on Twitter yesterday when I was actually watching the most recent episode, and I see the one and only Peter David tweet out. He goes, "They should do novels of the Orville. I would totally write those." And I went, let Peter David write the Orville novels. If you're not familiar, Peter David has written the novelizations for all sorts of movies and things like that. But one of the works he's best known for is in the Star Trek book world. He wrote all of the New Frontier series of books, and I believe that's the correct title for it, which was like 20 books that takes place with a whole bunch of new characters in the Star Trek universe where everything's peripherally connected to everything we've learned how to do. And he goes, and now he wants to do the Orville. And I went, okay, I would totally read that. And I could see Peter David's flavor of how to do these characters working. And then why I really wanted to bring this up also snuck in to this article. It said, quote, while Fox and Seth MacFarlane have never publicly addressed the likelihood of novelizations, it's in the realm of possibility. Although the series struggles in same-day ratings, barely maintaining a 1.1 in the key 18 to 49 demographic, the show sees considerable success once the Live +3 and +7 ratings are taken into consideration, and MacFarlane has already stated a Season 2 seems all but likely at this point. So, Season 2 of The Orville, I'm kind of excited.
Nice.
Is Peter David also a comic book writer?
He's also a comic book writer, yeah. He did a lot of the Incredible Hulk runs that you might be familiar with.
Didn't he also do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I forget which run that was. Not the original. But I think I got a signed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic signed by him.
He might have done Turtles. He's done a ton of stuff. Yeah, he's done like 300 issues of the Hulk. He did all of Spider-Man 2099. He did the run of X Factor where they introduced Jamie Madrox, the Multiple Man, and Quicksilver, the X Factor team that most people know with Havoc. He's done novels of almost every sci-fi show: Babylon 5, Battlestar Galactica, his own stuff.
According to Sailor Poland, you're thinking Peter Laird, Willie.
No,
for-
No.
Peter David did do. He
Yeah.
did it in 2003.
He
wrote
was
a
in my
Teenage
comic book
Mutant-
shop, and he signed my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic. I remember that was long. That's when I first started getting the comics back in like 2004ish, 2003ish.
Yeah,
Yeah, he has.
If there's a random book out there that has the last name David on it, Peter David probably wrote it. He is prolific as a motherfucker. He's like the Stephen King of comics. He writes all the time.
And just make sure, you said he writes for Star Trek novels, right?
He wrote Star Trek novels, yes.
Is he the one that wrote the crossover X-Men and Star Trek?
I've read that comic. I don't remember if he wrote that one or not.
Because I've seen the book in Barnes and Noble. I was like, is this really a thing?
He might have. It sounds like something he'd write.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he might have.
I mean, they crossed over Star Trek with a lot of things.
But with
IDW has crossed it with tons of stuff. Yeah, I think he might have done the one. Yeah, because there was like an old Star Trek X-Men crossover in like the late 80s, early 90s. That might have been Peter David. Yeah, the dude's written like hundreds of novels, and I'm pretty sure thousands at this point of comic books.
Go to his Wikipedia and read his bibliography, and it's massive.
He's all kinds of fucking prolific. And yeah, and I mean, he's still back and writing again, which is great because he had a stroke a couple years ago, and like he was laid up for a while. And then after that, they brought in the new Spider-Man 2099, and he had another 30 issue run on that again. And he's like Brian Michael Bendis is the only person who's ever written Ultimate Spider-Man. Peter David is the only person who's ever written Miguel O'Hara's Spider-Man 2099. He's written every issue with that character in it.
Yeah, you go and look at his bibliography. He's written a ton of comics. We talked about X-Factor, Incredible Hulk, things like that. Then you get to the Star Trek section, and that's almost as long as his entire comic book history in there, too, of all the books that he's written. So he's written a crap load of them. He's still writing the New Frontier books, evidently. He started writing them in 1997, and he has books slated to have come out in 2015 for that as well. So he's been fairly prolific. And a guy who can write sci-fi like that, who can get inside other people's heads to do novelizations that deal with characters that aren't his own, that'd be very interesting. So if he got to write like a couple Orville short stories or something like that, an Orville tie-in comic, that would be pretty cool. And I think that goes a little further to helping to further legitimate. Wow, I can't speak. Legitimize. That's the word I'm looking for. That series in the eyes of some folks. Now, I'll point blank say I haven't watched Star Trek Discovery, and I probably won't until the free trial comes out that allows me to watch it all in one fell swoop. But I've really loved the Orville, and it has a great Star Trek flavor to it. But that's just my opinion.
Because I'm still suffering with such mixed emotions towards Seth MacFarlane, I still haven't watched it. But he does good things, and then he does terrible things, so it's like...
So there was an episode of the Orville, I was very afraid he was going to go down like the dumb Family Guy comedy route on a topic that's relatively sensitive in today's day and age. And he didn't. And they handled it pretty well, and it had like the same kind of TNG... There's morals to be considered here, and we can't just consider our own morals on this kind of flavor. And I went, he's really respecting kind of the spirit of Star Trek and bringing it forward into this show. I liked it. And you all might like it too. But that's it for my news. I might
eventually start watching it. I don't know. I have a really hard time watching live TV shows.
I will caution you, the first episode is not great. It's just world building.
Well, it's like... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I like how Chris went all reading Rainbow there at the end. And you might like it too, but don't take my word for it.
LeVar Burton's a national treasure.
Isn't he Canadian?
I don't think so.
I'm not 100% on that.
I don't know.
I don't know these things.
I don't know either. But that wraps up my news. Anthony, what do you got for us?
Oh, like that show. All the other shows are back. So I'm stoked. We got Lucifer. We got Flash. Motherfucking Lucifer has Superman on it now, which is awesome. We got the Flash. We got Arrow. We got Supergirl. We got Legends. We also have Inhumans, which it's not that bad. SP was correct that the third episode, when they get away from the trying to make it all IMAX bullshit, like there is vast improvement on the third episode over the first two. But then also Netflix quietly, between all these awesome movies and other series they're doing, they also quietly dropped a fourth season of Voltron without telling anybody. I had no clue it was coming out and started watching that yesterday. So yeah, more Voltron. Space Dad is back. Shiro's kicking ass. But yeah, I'm happy. It's been a great week. Supergirl, The Flash, and yeah, Tom Welling is the new police lieutenant on Lucifer. So he comes in just barking orders and yelling at everybody. And it's really kind of cool to see Tom Welling as an adult. Like, he's a much bigger dude than he was when he was on Smallville. Like, he's filled out. He's got a little gray in his hair. Like, it's kind of strange after watching him grow up for 10 years as a high schooler to see him as an adult and, like, talking shit on people and kicking ass as a cop. Like, it's really cool. It's also
as an adult.
strange. Yeah, but it's cool.
What, he 25 when he was hired for that?
Yeah, I mean, he's even by the end of fucking Smallville, he still looked like he was 18. Like,
That's
you know,
fair.
he's
That's fair.
a fucking model kid. Like, he still looked young even 10 years into the fucking Smallville. But you know, like, he looks like an actual adult now. It's a little strange at first. And yeah, seeing him yelling at the actor that plays Lucifer is great. Like, they have a really weird kind of back and forth chemistry between the two of them. But it's fun to see him like in a character role where like there's no hint of Clark Kent at all. Like, it's a totally different, you know, he's playing a human cop who is just kind of, you know, a big barking dog police lieutenant. You know, you expect him to yelling at people every scene he walks in. And yeah, fucking Lucifer's a great show. They started this season off with the crazy one. The crazy end of last season was Lucifer got kidnapped, woke up in the desert, and had his wings back. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? And so this season starts off with him trying to figure out how the hell somebody kidnapped him, who kidnapped him, and how the fuck he got his wings back. Like, that show is just buckets of insane, and it's a blast. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. I can't believe Fox hasn't canceled it yet because it's so enjoyable.
It's also got Trisha Helfer in it, which is part of the reason why I want to watch it.
It doesn't anymore. She leaves at the end of season 2.
That's okay. It still had Trisha Helfer in it, and I love me some number 6.
It had a lot of Trisha Helfer in it, and she's amazing. She's Lucifer's mom, which the whole storyline behind that is insane.
I'm sorry.
And
what?
yeah, she's Lucifer's mom. You didn't know God had a wife? Yeah, check that shit out.
Did she come from his rib?
Nope. She's a being of pure energy. She's fucking fantastic. Yeah, and she's hilarious on that show because she refers to the human body that she's in, and it's hilarious to see Trisha Helfer as an actor playing like a deity inside of a human body, going, "Look at this ass," and like pointing at her own ass and talking about it. It's fucking so strange. The lines they wrote for her were fantastic. But yeah, all the shows are back.
I'll look at her ass.
It's a fantastic ass.
No doubt, man. So out of all the
Arrow came back with crazy shit.
Out of all the superhero shows you watched that premiered this week, which one was the best in your mind, and which one was the worst?
The worst is still Inhumans, even though it's better. I don't know. Normally I would say Flash, but I'm a little disappointed with how quickly they got Barry back after the finale last year. So I would actually say Arrow. Like the new start to Arrow was a really cool version of, they jump forward in time like 5 months and then start filling out what happened on the explosive finale from last year. Right. And him dealing with this kid it's really good. Like, you actually see some solid acting from Stephen Amell, which I was impressed by.
You mean the episode where there's barely any consequences, the entire island getting blown up with all his friends and family on it?
Well, come on, it's Arrow. They only kill the people that they're going to bring back 2 weeks later. So,
at least
and you get more Manu Bennett. Yeah, you get more Manu Bennett, which, you know, any episode with Manu Bennett's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, he was in the show for 3 minutes.
And he was still fucking great.
I enjoy superhero soap operas. Who doesn't?
Exactly.
I actually have not watched any of these shows, so I don't know what y'all are
talking about. So you don't like superhero soap operas?
No, I don't.
But she does love Stephen Amell on a salmon ladder.
Yes. Okay. Stephen Amell on a personal level, I adore, but I quit Arrow after he punched a shark. He literally punched a shark.
He didn't. So the jumping of the shark was the punching of the shark?
Yeah, jumping a shark's too easy. Arrow punched a shark.
And I was like, well, guess I'm done with this show.
Which is so much cooler. While he was swimming underwater like Aquaman, even though he has no superpowers.
And he didn't know how to swim 20 minutes earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, he learned how to swim and then became like an Olympic diver inside of 5 minutes.
His superpower is he's the lead character in a television show. That's his superpower.
His superpower is he's number one on the call sheet, bitches.
I thought he's Batman without being Batman.
Well, that's pretty much what Arrow is.
He's way more than Batman now. It's awesome. But come on, yeah, you got that show's got Mr. Terrific. They fucking they made Wild Dog cool. That's one of the dumbest fucking characters ever, and they made Wild Dog cool. Fucking yeah, Diggle, Wild Dog, Mr. Terrific. Like that show's awesome. The new Black Canary that they got on there,
So much better than the last Black Canary.
well, that and the fact they brought back the last Black Canary again as an evil version just for Chris because he loves that actor so much.
Hopefully they kill that version too.
Poor Laurel.
She's the worst character ever.
Arrow's pure fun. And Supergirl was good. It's just they did a little kind of depressing episode because she lost her boyfriend, which made sense for the character. Like, you know, they basically took the premiere episode this season to deal with the fallout of last season, which is more kind of what you expect for some shows. So yeah, Supergirl did much better with handling their finale from last year than Arrow did. Or Arrow was like, yeah, we're all kind of okay, even though we blew up an island with everybody on it.
We just set it up so that the actor who hasn't had much time to do the show can conveniently be in a coma so we can bring her back whenever we need to. And then we'll kill off the extra person that everyone knew was going to die to make next year's story work.
Well,
Sorry,
yeah.
It was kind of predictable.
That doesn't make it less fun.
I guess. I don't know.
I enjoy Arrow.
I have my concerns. I enjoyed it, but I felt let down a little bit. But that's just...
You can hear all about it on one of our Gonna Geek shows.
Nice segue.
It's called the
Naki,
Starling
nice segue.
Tribune.
I did it, guys.
Top A work you just did.
So, Naki, why don't
That's
you
why
continue
Willie
that
does
top...
these reads and I don't.
Why don't you continue your top A work, Naki, and tell us all about your news?
Hey guys, I hear this little movie that some people like had a new trailer come out this week. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Star Wars, and
A small independent film.
Yeah, it's small. Nobody really talks about it much. There's not several podcasts, books, movies, TV shows, YouTube channels dedicated directly to Star Wars. So I don't know, if you know this. But the new trailer came out this week. We actually had football on in my house to watch it. I hate football. But the new trailer came out. There's a lot of analysis going on about it, specifically after the poster came out. Is where I saw the most analysis. Not so much from the trailer, which I thought was kind of funny. There is a lot of analysis, but saw more from the poster. And it was literally just because Luke is looming in the background. And if you compare it to the other Star Wars posters, it's always the bad guy who is looming in the background. So Vader, I think in the last one, I think for episode 7, it was Kylo. It's looking really... I did get choked up when Carrie Fisher was on screen, and then even more choked up when you go onto her dog's Instagram account, which is still active.
Oh, that got me.
And it's the picture of her dog looking at her on screen, and all the caption says is that "Mommy looks beautiful" or something like that, and I'm just like, my heart, why? But we did see the first glimpse of a porg, which has created memes of everybody being like me in real life, which is the new meme.
I'm so tired of the porg craze. I'll be honest. Maybe it's because I've been dealing with it in my house for weeks now.
What's a porg?
Weeks. It's the fluffy little Ewok, basically.
They're like piranha
It's the
penguins.
new Ewok.
It's the new Ewok.
With the big eyes thing.
Yeah,
they're
with the
Jedi
giant eyes.
Island piranha penguins.
Did they switch the side where Kylo Ren's scar is on?
They moved his scar.
They moved it.
Ryan Johnson said he did
Yeah.
not like the positioning of it before, so they actually
It was
moved
originally cut like right above his nose, and then they moved it over his eyes, so he looked just like Grandpa.
Gotcha.
Great, that's smart.
Yeah, which the
It's
idea that you can just move a cut in a scene just because you don't like where it landed, like that's didn't fucking change the movie that it was in. Like,
Don't worry, JJ will move it back in episode 9. It's okay.
I hope he fucking does, because that bugged the shit out of me.
You know,
we're gonna
people
move
aren't
the
going to
scars
notice
so we
if you
don't
don't
like
tell
where
them.
he got hit.
Yeah, but most people are just going to go, yeah, Kylo Ren got hit in the face with a lightsaber. They're not going to remember his scar was 2 inches over to the left. Come on. We're nitpicking. We're Star Wars fans, so we're going to notice that stuff. You talk to the conventional person, like, oh, Kylo Ren's got a scar on his face now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing that would look cool about the scar on his face is that he's got some sort of mesh in it. Metal mesh.
dark side
He's slowly
Band-Aid.
turning into Grandpa.
Dark side.
Yeah,
Band-Aid.
Dark Side Band-Aid.
What? Yeah. I was going with morphing slowly into Grandpa through his face.
Well, Skywalkers, they always end up replacing pieces at a time.
Yeah. I think we've got some major editing in this because to make it not spoilery.
Or to make you think it is spoilery when it's not.
Right.
Does anyone really think that Rey is going to join Kylo Ren?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, on a secret mission from Luke to infiltrate and find out who Snoke is.
It'll be
She's there, but it's a lie.
No. See, what's actually happening is that Kylo Ren is being like, "Man, I killed my dad, and I'm sad about this. If we join up, then we'll be like Skywalker and Kenobi teaming up again because she's a Kenobi. Fuck you guys."
That's fake news. She has not been confirmed as being a Kenobi.
She's a Kenobi.
That's what
she hasn't been confirmed as anything other than apparently the scariest Force user since Kylo, which is apparently why old man Luke went into hiding.
That could just be clever editing, though, too.
It could be.
Because, I don't know how I feel about seeing Finn already. I mean, we all knew he was going to be back in it, but it left on a cliffhanger with him being, is he okay or not? So that's one of those things. Like, I didn't like that we knew that
he was just in recovery.
Yeah, and Star Wars, anybody that can get into a back to tank, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, hell, Darth Maul got cut in half, and he came back twice.
That's true.
Well, he got his legs. He got metal legs. It's fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just love the idea that we're going to get to see Finn using the weapon that Traitor attacked him with and attacking fucking the Chrome Trooper with it.
That's
like, we get to actually
not the
see her
same
fight.
weapon. It's slightly different.
I'm excited to see Phasma. I was actually going to ask, is anybody reading the Phasma novel that came out?
I haven't read it yet. I heard it's actually pretty good, though.
I was debating picking it up because it actually, like, I keep hearing good things about it, and I was really interested in Captain Phasma and was really disappointed at the lack of usage of her.
What do you mean? It's so surprised. She had nothing in the movie. There was nothing in the movie. Why is everyone excited about this character? Well, exactly. You're proving my point.
It's Star Wars. Everyone starts to love random characters. Look at Boba Fett, who had like 3 minutes of screen time and became one of the most popular characters ever.
That's the problem with Phasma is they tried to make her the new Boba Fett. Disney tried to force it, and that's why it didn't work and the toys didn't sell.
Yeah, the bedazzled stormtrooper shit.
I mean, it was exciting to see her as a character just because and that's what I wanted. I wanted to see her as a character, and I was disappointed that she wasn't developed more. That's why I wanted to find out if Phasma, the novel, was worth reading, if anybody was reading it or not.
No, it looks good, but I'll wait for the comic.
Because they turned everything into a comic?
Of course. Disney owns Marvel, so everything Star Wars gets turned into a comic now.
That's true. But that's my news of the week. What did you guys think of this fancy new commercial?
I thought it did a good job of not giving anything away, really. I mean, you got some cool moments, but I got done watching that trailer. I went, I have no idea what's going to happen, and I kind of love it.
Yeah, they've done good cutting those for this one. Where you have glimpses of stuff that's going to happen, but you really have no idea of the storyline.
Here's something to consider, guys. This is a movie that comes out in like 2 months. There's only 2 trailers for it. This is the final theatrical trailer for all intents and purposes. So this is the last we get other than like TV spots going into it. And I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of on a blackout of these things now. I went, I'm not watching any more Star Wars stuff that comes out. I want to go in blind, or as blind as I can at this point, and see what happens. Like all these clickbait things like, you won't believe what we saw in the background here. Or, you won't believe what this means for Rey. I'm like, you guys don't know shit. I'm not falling for any of this stuff. I'm going to come up with my own ideas. I'm just going to watch content, the real content, and then go watch the movie. I don't want to know any of the other stuff.
Oh, you're going to see some spoilers from the action figures or something like that.
No, you won't. Ryan Johnson already came out and said They made sure they'd put no spoilers on the action figures this time.
That was a setup for you, Chris.
Ah, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, we only got 3 months left in the year, and we've got Thor, we got Justice League, and we got Star Wars. Like, hot damn!
I'm seeing
it's
2
gonna
out
be
of 3.
another good end of the
I
year.
only care about some of those.
I have a
Seeing 2
movie
out of
pass. I'll
3.
see all 3. I don't care.
No, I won't see Justice League. Like, I adored Wonder Woman, but I didn't adore Wonder Woman enough that I'm going to go see Justice League.
What?
My
Jason
friend-
Momoa shirtless isn't going to make you go see that movie? You're
Yeah,
You
see-
know how many things that Jason Momoa is shirtless in? I really
All the
don't need to go
things.
see that.
Almost all the things Jason Momoa is in.
Yeah, so I don't have to
He's
go.
shirtless.
I don't have to go spend money on a movie I don't want to see.
My friend is buying me tickets, and she's taking me to see Justice League. So I'll go see it because I'm not paying for it.
So what I'm more excited for than Justice League is the fact we should be getting an Infinity War trailer with either Thor or Star Wars, and I just want the trailer for this damn movie now because I've watched
You mean the
leaked
trailer
copy.
the trailer we watched from San Diego?
Yeah, well, we only watched 2/3 of it because you couldn't see the bottom third of the trailer, basically.
Still, would like to see it in actual, screen format and not somebody's phone.
Not from a weird angle.
I would too, and I will be honest, I'll probably go see Justice League, but again, that's only because I have the movie pass. I pay $10 a month to go see unlimited movies, so why
My
not?
brother has that too.
I kind of like it. When the app works right, I like it. Let me rephrase.
I would like to see the movies I want to see them in. If I want to go to D-Box, I can just go to D-Box. If I want to see an IMAX, I can go to IMAX. No, you have to see it in standard.
Yeah, I don't have any theaters like that around me, Willie, so it's just as easy.
Well, never mind. I take that back. For you, it's awesome.
Yeah, for me, it works great for my use case because if I want to go see an IMAX version, I got to drive up to Pittsburgh. There's no D-Box anywhere around me, so why not just use the regular one?
Come down and visit me. We can go together.
It's not that quick a drive for me to get to you, Willie.
I said come visit. I didn't say just stop on by for a minute.
So that's something, Willie.
You too, Naki. Come on down.
Okay. I'm on my way, buddy. I'm actually walking right now. You just
She
can't
is.
tell because
That's
I
why
don't
there's
have
no
a camera
camera.
on.
I hate you all.
As it should be.
You thought you did already, so this isn't really news.
2 billion people assholes. 2 billion people assholes. 2 billion people assholes.
You okay there, buddy?
He's a
I'll be
little
all right.
crazy. I think he loses his mind.
He's just making his list.
I had a mind.
Checking it twice.
Okay, Willie, I misspoke. I can go to a D-Box theater in Pittsburgh. It's about 60 miles from my house. I might go do it one day.
My place is not 60 miles away from you.
I know, it's a lot farther. A lot further. So, I guess that's going to wrap up the news. I got distracted trying to find D-Box theaters near me, I'll be honest. I'm having
Chris,
a
it's
squirrel
not
moment.
movie time.
I'm having a scroll moment. But as we wrap up the show, we do like to remind folks that the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast is, in fact, part of a network of shows that you can find over at GonnaGeek.com. We've got 20 plus shows on the network that cover a variety of topics, some specific to one nerdy television show, some about nerd culture in general, some about tabletop gaming. Like I said, all sorts of different topics. We really encourage you to go check out all of the shows there. But each week we try to highlight one specific show on the network. And Willie, what show are we talking about this week?
This week, I will be talking about the Starling Tribune, Arrow Season 6, Predictions, number 169. The Starling Tribune reporters Stargate Pioneer, Chris and Michelle preview the Arrow Season 6 and give their predictions for what will happen. The crew discuss issues like, who dies on Lian Yu? Will we see Stephen and Mel shirtless scenes this year? Will Arrow have a Season 7? Why Dinah Drake is everyone's favorite Arrow character? We predict Renee and Curtis to become my two dads to Zoe. We are all looking forward to Kirk Acevedo's, you fix that in post, please, appearances. And just who is the vigilante anyway? Isn't that show nothing but vigilantes?
What's a character named Vigilante?
Back to you, Chris.
Well, thank you, Willie. And we do advise you guys, go check out some of the great content we have over on the Gonna Geek Network. But looking at the time, it is time for us to start wrapping things up. And if you're familiar with the show, you know we wrap things up with a little bit called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or at a later date just what kind of geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into, so that maybe, just maybe, we can entice you to check them out as well. So, Naki, what have you been getting into?
So we went and saw Chasing the Dragon on Sunday after the show. And if you get a chance to see this in theaters, highly, highly recommend it. It's with Donnie Yen and Andy Lau. It's Hong Kong cinema, so just know what you're walking into with that. But it is based on a true story about about the drug cartels in Hong Kong. Donnie Yen looks interesting because it does take place in the 50s, 60s, 70s. So he's got like curly hair, and it's really funny, kind of.
Is it Donnie Yen with a pompadour?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I highly recommend you check it out. It's a super intense movie, but it was really, really well done, and it was so good. This week I also continued working on my Korean. Played a lot of Cuphead and Towerfall Ascension, which I had mentioned earlier. Continuing through my read through of it, which I forgot was 1,000 pages, so it's taking me a little bit longer than I remembered. And I'm working on some new patterns for hats, so that's what I got. I'm not super interesting this week.
Yeah, it's interesting enough. So I'll go next.
Before I forget. Sorry, I forgot. Dressman had asked us, Dressman, friend of the show, has asked us to push his friend's Kickstarter. It is Jessica. Hang on, crap! I lost my thing that I had it copied to, so I wouldn't lose it. I'm doing great, guys. Filler.
Disqualified.
It's Donnie Yen in a button-fly collar, a 70s mustache, and an almost pompadour hairdo. That is some awesome-looking shit.
Naki, show me what you got.
Cool.
Show me what you got.
Okay, so
there's always one.
The internet. So his internet connection was cutting in and out, so that's why he's asked us. But his friend Jessica Lynn, and it's a book called Bones. He put the Kickstarter link in the chat. I, for some reason, cannot get it copied, but you could just scroll up and it's there. But if you could check that out, that's a friend of the show's friend of the show. There you go.
A friend of a friend?
Friend of a friend of a friend of a friend.
Sometimes friend of friends. Sometimes friend of friends are better than the initial friends themselves.
Sometimes, yes. So I'll go next with my stuff. I watched a bunch of movies this weekend. I saw The Foreigner last night in the theaters, which is Jackie Chan's return. They gave you almost all the action scenes in the trailer, it seemed like to me.
Oh, no.
And Jackie Chan's Taken?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not what I was expecting going in. It's more of almost like political twists and turns and mystery and intrigue with some cool fight scenes. And like Pierce Brosnan, I think, is in the movie more than Jackie Chan is, it seems like to me.
Does he say, I will look for you, I will find you, and I will use everything in the room to beat your ass with?
No, he does not. But I mean, I could be over exaggerating that a little bit. They might about split time. It's really fun. I did enjoy it. And it's interesting seeing Pierce Brosnan play a member of the IRA. That was kind of an interesting twist. Pierce Brosnan's kind of a bad guy that you root for partway through. You're like, why am I rooting for this guy? And then you move on from there. So it's worth seeing. Just don't go in expecting it to be like the greatest action movie of all time. Jackie Chan gets some cool fight scenes, but you got to remember Jackie Chan's like 60 something now, so he doesn't get a ton of long action scenes, but they're fun.
I just enjoy Jackie Chan just on so many levels. So.
Yes, it's a fun movie. Just you've got to get the right mindset that you're not going in there to expect like, don't expect John Wick of martial arts or anything like that. It is absolutely not a movie built around fight scenes and cool stunts and stuff like that.
As long as it's better than Taken 2 and 3, I'm okay with it.
I never saw either
what
of them.
What did he lose?
Thankfully.
His dog?
What? John Wick?
No, the Taken 2 and 3.
Who cares? Those are horrible movies. Never watch them. Watch the first.
Exactly
First one's a good movie. So the second and third are shit.
Continue with the stuff I've been getting into. Also watched the Power Rangers movie this weekend because I had it sitting on my DVD shelf. Hadn't gotten a chance to do it. So it's one of the first actual 4K videos I actually got to watch with the full 4K setup because it's not upscaled stuff. It's all filmed in 4K. So it was pretty looking and it was a lot of fun. I mean, it's kind of corny, but at the same time, I had fun with it and I went, you know, I'd watch a sequel because they teased the fact that Tommy's going to show up at the end of the show, at the end of the movie, and I was like,
spoilers.
Oh, everyone knows. Come on. And I was like, I want to see their take on the Dragon Zord in this movie. Please make it happen. I don't know what's going to happen though.
So it's corny like the original Power Rangers is.
Not the same kind of corn.
Yeah,
but still, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was going to make an analogy, but it doesn't work.
At least you stopped yourself before you started.
Yeah,
that's true.
That.
He pulled up short of the fail. Good job, Willie.
I have also been playing Golf Story on the Switch still because I've been enjoying that a lot. Played the Battlefront 2 beta, which I thought was pretty looking, but meh. And
oh my god, it's so pretty looking.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. And then I've also started watching on Netflix Master of None. I'm about on episode 7 or 8 of season 1, I think. And I didn't get it at first, and I'm not sure I get it yet, but I'm having fun watching it. It seems kind of inane.
There's a lot of people who really like it. I still haven't watched it.
It's not.
I love it.
I like Aziz Ansari, so that's part of why I finally got around to watching it. But I'm not sure what actually happens when I watch an episode. It's a bunch of trivial stuff, and it's not necessarily...
I like Aziz. I watched the first episode. I don't know if I want to watch anymore.
Yeah, I didn't start really enjoying it until in the middle of episode 3. I was like, okay, I'm kind of having fun with this now.
Okay, maybe I'll try it. I'll try it again.
I don't know. I haven't started season 2 yet either. I'm still a little ways out from that, but I guess that's all I've been really getting into. Has been watching movies and playing video games because I'm an adult and I do adult things.
Adulting is fun.
Adulting is wonderful. So, Anthony, what have you been getting into, sir?
I had 2 awesome pieces of mail call. I supported one of my favorite artists and saved up my my allowance from dropping Marvel comics and got me a nice little piece of alien art that Tressa Bowling did at one of the live art events for I think they did this for Alien Covenant. She did this at a live art event. Nice badass Ripley and an alien. So I got that one to go up on the wall. And then one of the Kickstarters I backed a couple months ago finally came out. So I got the Atomic Robo new hardcover. Came with a cool little poster of the evolution of Atomic Robo. And then the hardcover comic, which I still haven't opened. Nice, pretty little chrome lettered cover. Cool little purple hardcover. And then this one, it came with a bonus ultra classified field manual. They did an actual like military field manual from the company that made Atomic Robo. And like it's actually filled out like it's an actual redacted military manual. Like it's really cool looking. And then that came with a couple of postcards and stuff too. So really another really nice Kickstarter. Backed a couple more Kickstarters. The 4th Monkey is ending today. It's an anthology about awareness. That's a cool one to go check out if you got some time. Frickin' Dirk Manning decided to try to break the internet again. He launched his 4th Kickstarter for the Tales of Mystery Volume 4. Everything Burns. His goal was everybody that backed it in the first 13 hours gets a bonus signed photo, and he wanted to try to fund the full Kickstarter in the first 13 hours. It funded in 3 hours and 13 minutes on Friday the 13th. So he's really stoked, and it's rolling through a list of stretch goals now that are insane. And the top stretch goal is actually to become the #1 backed Kickstarter comic that's going to be put out through Devil's Due. And I can't remember what the big thing is, but there's a really cool thing if they hit that one that's just kind of nuts. He asked for 13,000. They're already at 18,000 with 29 days to go. And yeah, it's already unlocked the first like 5 stretch goals. And what is the last one? Oh yeah. If they hit $27,235, everybody who backs the hardcover level or higher gets a Kickstarter exclusive Tales of Mystery Demon Exorcism kit. Because this whole comic is about a world where heaven and hell open up and attack for 3 days, and then they all kind of went away, and humanity has gone back to just ignoring the fact that basically the apocalypse happened. And Mystery is a guy who deals with leftover events and crazy shit that was left during the attack from all these demons. Also, Blood and Dust Volume 2 is on Kickstarter, and Pixie Dust, a hardcover graphic novel that I got to read and check out before it launched. That one's on Kickstarter until November 2nd. bunch of really good comics going out there. And then keeping up on my drawings. I've done all my daily sketches. I think I'm 1 day behind on Inktober. I've been enjoying doing all of my Rick and Morty's. I'm up to Snowball, so I got to finish Snowball today, doing him in the robot suit. So that's a fun one. And then, yeah, watching lots of Netflix. I started donating plasma, and our local plasma place now has Wi-Fi. So I decided to start watching Supernatural because I wanted a nice long show. And so I'm
a
almost
long show.
Yeah.
10 years of Supernatural, I think, is on Netflix, and I'm almost done with season 1. I think I've done 7 donations this month. So yeah, I'm gonna get caught up on my bills by donating plasma and watching Supernatural. And it's a fun ass show. Like, I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
It's really cheesy.
Yeah, it's cheesy. It's fun. The characters are hilarious, and getting to see the guy that plays their dad, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, frickin' Negan, as the dad on there. Like, he's hilarious when he's on there, just because it's so long ago now that he looks completely different from what he looks like on The Walking Dead. But yeah, watch on Willie's. I was planning on watching it anyways, but on Willie's recommendation, I made sure I watched The Babysitter, and goddamn, that's a hilarious movie. And then yeah, I'm 4 episodes into the new Voltron. Because if you want to watch something like Power Rangers but something good, go watch Legendary Defender Voltron on Netflix, because it's the good version of that show.
I was gonna say Power Rangers is still #1 in my heart, so screw you. But,
Power Rangers is just another weak ass knockoff of Voltron anyway, so why not watch the original?
Because I didn't like the original Voltron, but I like the new one.
The new Voltron's so good. And yeah, Space Dad's back. Shiro's kicking ass. Yeah, I'm 3 or 4 episodes into the new season. And yeah, it's funny because all the other stuff coming out on Netflix, which they've had so much stuff coming out lately. But yeah, I didn't even notice. I didn't get like I think they've been sending like emails. Yeah, they've been sending like emails saying, "Hey, this is coming out next week." I got nothing until the day it launched. It's like, "Hey, look, Volume 4 is up. Go watch it." I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, welcome to new Netflix, Voltron, where there's so much content they don't email out on everything anymore.
Yeah, they have so much good stuff. They don't have time to email you on everything. Fucking yeah, it's $8 a month. It's still it's the best content for my dollar for anything I pay for. So everything falls short of Netflix at this point. Nobody's keeping up with them yet.
So Willie, wrap us up. What are you getting into, sir?
Let's see. Like Bachman said, I did watch The Babysitter. I do believe that is my movie of the year. It is amazing. Let's see. I did get the new WWE 2K18 game because don't watch wrestling, but I do love the games. Started remaking some of the Overwatch characters, or actually just one. It's gonna be a long process. Not liking the loot box system in it, even though it's only part of the my player career. It's only part of that where it's very dumb, where you have to unlock clothing through loot boxes for your character.
So like you do with Overwatch.
And then also when you unlock them, then you also have to pay for them with the in-game currency.
Oh, the double whammy. And then you can do a microtransaction to get more in-game currency, can't you?
I have no idea. I didn't even look that far into it because I don't care. I'm not even sure if I'm even going to play that much of the My Career thing because that doesn't really interest me that much. But also, I did get a Kickstarter myself. I had to get this Kickstarter. I kind of regret it now. It's called Lesbian Zombies from Outer Space. With a name like that, how can you not?
Well, I know why Willie bought that.
But the story, oh my god. I think it's like a 15-year-old wrote it. Because I think there's a line in it saying, "Wait, you're not a lesbian. You're not hot." Oh, it's so palm face worthy. Let me see. Other than that, still playing Fortnite. Pretty fun. I do have to say the Battlefront 2, the graphics. Oh my god, it just looks amazing. Like all this shit just going on, the leaves rustling around. Although I did kind of see how they kind of make that. Those leaves just come straight from the ground on a repeat, on like a 3-second GIF repeat. But also, last week I did record for Art House Legends for their Killer Clowns from Outer Space episode, and it is out now. Go listen to it. You can listen to Lauren from Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. try and work out the biology of these clowns from outer space.
That could be interesting.
I believe that's all I got until I interrupt at the very end for something I forgot. So go ahead.
Well, I'm used to that. That's why I was hoping if I let you go last, you'd come up with it sooner. But evidently, that is not the case. It is time for us to start wrapping things up, though, guys. A big thank you to everyone that did join us live today for the show. Friendly reminder, you can hang around on geeks.live. There is at least 2, potentially 3 other podcasts airing today. So if you're watching on geeks.live right now, hang around for about a half hour, and Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be coming up next. And then Starling Tribune at 6 p.m. We'll talk about the Arrow premiere. And then I believe Pop X Cast tonight at 9 p.m. So it is a busy day over at geeks.live. Now, before we wrap things up for real, you guys have any final thoughts for us?
I was wrong. The original Super Sentai came out before Voltron.
I'm sorry. Can we cut that and just keep that little clip of Bakken saying
fuck
he's
you, Willie.
wrong? Thank you, Chris. I saw you looking at the time.
I thought the original old school Voltron came out before the first Power Rangers, which technically Power Rangers is based on Super Sentai, and Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger actually came out in 1975.
I don't care what you were wrong about. I just care that you admitted that you were.
Oh,
wrong
I know,
with something.
I know. And fuck you, Willie.
That's fair.
All right, then. That's fair. Anything else yet? Anything? Going once. Twice.
Oh, pair.
Oh, God.
Soul.
Oh, yeah. Go watch Big Mouth. Big Mouth on Netflix, too. If you miss Ruxin, Big Mouth is
and
fucking
Ralphie.
Ruxin and his buddies talking about, and Ralphie talking about the weirdest shit that ever happened to you when you were 12, 13, and 14 going through puberty and dealing with hormone demons in the cartoon. It is fucking hilarious.
It's the puber monster.
You got me. You got me already hooked.
It's good stuff. Oh, I laughed so hard I cried during one of the episodes. Like, it is that funny.
It's 10 episodes on Netflix, so go and check it out for yourself. Willie, it sounds like you got one last thing.
Yes, apparently my packages actually came in I have my, because I had to order from Amazon, my name tags for upcoming Doug Benson shows. I ordered 2 posters. I'm going to make my name tag. One is a fish called Wanda. I'm going to retitle to a fish called Willie Nelson. And also one Willy Wonka. I'm going to do some crazy shit with that. Just change the Y to an IE and Willie Nelson and something or other.
Which Willy Wonka?
There's only one Willy Wonka.
So that's the real one, right?
Yeah, the real one. Because the other one's called Charlie and Chocolate Factory.
That's right. I couldn't remember what the other one was called.
Now, I've heard this. I don't know how true it is of why they changed it from... Because the book was Willy Wonka and Charlie and Chocolate Factory, but why they changed it for the 70s movie was because Vietnam was going on and Charlie was... I don't know how true that is.
Might be true.
I don't know. But guys, that is going to wrap us up for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. And don't forget to come on back next Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern at 10 a.m. Central. We'll record the next episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. So, yeah, we're wrapping up. Bye, guys, and see you next week. Awkward silence.
Oh,
can we say something dirty?
Normally you guys ramble until it comes up, but all right, we're getting out. Bye, guys.
2 billion people.
Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGNpodcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.